I never thought life could feel this ordinary and perfect at the same time. Sitting on our worn couch, Emily curled up beside me. I felt a calm I hadn't known before. "You're quiet today," she said, nudging my shoulder with hers. "I'm just tired," I replied, though my exhaustion was more in my chest than my limbs. She frowned. "You've been saying that a lot lately. Everything okay at work?" "I'm fine. Really," I said, though I wasn't. My health had been acting up for months, random dizzy spells, constant fatigue. But I brushed it off. What's a little weakness between two people in love? Emily shook her head, brushing her hair behind her ear. "You don't have to hide things from me, you know." "I'm not hiding." I smiled. "I just don't want to worry you." She reached for my hand. "I'm not worried about you, silly. I'm worried about us pretending nothing's wrong. Remember when we met?" I chuckled. "How could I forget? You spilled coffee on me and refused to apologize." "That was your fault," she shot back with a grin. "You should have dodged." I laughed, squeezing her hand. I didn't mind. Emily leaned closer, her forehead resting against mine. I didn't mind either, and I knew then I wanted to be with you, no matter what. I swallowed, feeling warmth spread through me. "No matter what." She nodded. "No matter what. Even if you were broke, ugly, sick, anything. I wouldn't leave." I laughed again, more nervously this time. "That sounds too good to be true." "It's true," she said, her voice steady. "I mean it." I wanted to believe her with all my heart. I had nothing, barely a steady job, no savings, a cramped apartment, but she didn't care. She saw me, the real me, and decided I was worth staying with. That night, when I proposed, I remember her tears. "Are you sure?" she had asked, her hands trembling as she took the ring. "Absolutely," I said. "I've never been more sure of anything in my life." She cried harder. "I've never been so happy or scared. But I promise I'll never leave you. Not for anything, not for anyone." "I promise too," I whispered, holding her close. "Forever." That promise felt like armor against the world. At the time, I didn't know life could shatter so quickly, but back then, I truly believed nothing could break us. My best friend Ryan Miller always joked about how lucky I was. "Dude, you hit the jackpot," he said one night when we grabbed beers after work. "I know," I replied, feeling a little embarrassed at his bluntness. "But it's more than luck. She's incredible." Ryan raised his bottle. "Incredible? Man, you're soft. Just make sure you don't screw it up." "I won't," I said, though I couldn't guarantee it. Ryan always saw through me, but in his own annoying way, he made me feel grounded. "Good, because I'll be watching. Don't disappoint me," he said with a grin. I laughed. "Always looking out for me, huh?" "Always. You know it." Emily and I had routines that made life feel safe. She would cook dinner while I set the table. Some nights, she would read to me when I felt too tired to speak. "Try this," she said one evening, handing me a bowl of soup. "It's not fancy, but I made it with love." I smiled. "I can taste the love." She laughed. "You're such a sap." "I know," I said, grinning. "But you love it." She rolled her eyes, but didn't argue. Instead, she reached for my hand again, squeezing it gently. "I do. That's why I'm here." Sometimes, during my small health scares, she would insist on accompanying me to the hospital. "Just in case," she said as we waited for the doctor. "I'm not leaving you alone. I can handle it," I muttered, feeling a little guilty for making her worry. She shook her head. "You don't have to be strong all the time. I can be strong for both of us." That moment stuck with me. It was simple, quiet, but it meant everything. She didn't just promise me forever with words. She showed it with actions. Every touch, every word, every late-night meal, it was a thread holding me together. But even in this perfect calm, there were hints of unease. I don't know why, but sometimes I feel tired in ways I can't explain. I confessed one night as we lay in bed. She tilted her head. "Maybe your body's just adjusting to work stress. Or maybe it's nothing." "I guess," I said, trying to convince myself. "Don't worry about it. I'm here. Always," she said, brushing my hair back. "I'll take care of you, no matter what." I closed my eyes, letting her words sink in. It felt impossible that anyone could love me this fiercely, and I loved her just as fiercely in return. Even our small arguments were tender in their own way. Why do you always leave your socks on the floor? She asked one evening. Because the floor misses them, I replied without missing a beat. She laughed, throwing a pillow at me. You're impossible. I know, I said, grinning. But I'm yours. You're lucky, she said, shaking her head. Most men would never survive this level of my weirdness. I wouldn't survive without you, I whispered. Her eyes softened, and she leaned in, pressing her lips to mine. Then we're perfect for each other. Life felt stable, safe, full of quiet happiness. Even my faint health issues seemed trivial when Emily was around. I wanted to believe that nothing could go wrong, that no matter what life threw at us, our love would withstand it. And in those moments, sitting on the couch, listening to her hum a song she always sang in the kitchen, holding her hand as we planned a future together, I truly believed it. I believed forever was not just a word. It was a promise we had both made, and I was certain we would never break it. I didn't know that this calm, this perfect, ordinary life was only the prelude. That storms were coming. That promises, no matter how heartfelt, could be tested in ways I had never imagined. But in this moment, with Emily smiling beside me, I was unafraid. I was in love, and for the first time in a long time, I was happy. Forever, I thought. Nothing could touch us. I sat on the paper-covered bed, swinging my legs slowly while Dr. Harris stared at the screen. The room smelled like disinfectant, sharp and clean, like it was trying to erase fear. So, I said, forcing a smile, you're going to tell me I need more sleep and fewer burgers, right? Dr. Harris didn't smile back. He cleared his throat. I wish it were that simple. Emily's fingers tightened around mine. What does that mean? She asked. It means we found the cause of the symptoms, he said. But the diagnosis isn't minor. I laughed once, short and awkward. Doc, I can take it. I've Googled worse. This isn't something you should Google, he replied gently. You have a chronic condition. It's treatable, but not quickly. Emily leaned forward. Treatable how? Long-term treatment, Dr. Harris said. Medication, regular hospital visits, lifestyle changes. Recovery could take years. I felt my chest tighten. Years. I repeated. Yes, he said. And even then, there are no guarantees. Emily went quiet. I looked at her, waiting for her to say something comforting, something strong. Instead, her eyes stayed fixed on the floor. So, I said, trying to sound casual, I won't be running marathons anytime soon. Dr. Harris gave a careful smile. Let's focus on getting you stable first. How much? Emily asked suddenly. He paused. The treatment is expensive. Insurance will cover part of it, but there will still be a heavy financial burden. I felt something cold settle in my stomach. I can work, I said quickly. I mean, maybe not full-time, but you'll need rest, he interrupted. Pushing yourself could make things worse. Emily finally looked up. Is he going to die? The question hit me harder than the diagnosis. Dr. Harris shook his head. Not if we manage it properly, but this will change his life. I nodded slowly. Change. That word echoed. I wasn't scared of pain. I wasn't even scared of dying. I was scared of dragging everyone down with me. Outside the room, Emily walked ahead of me, her heels clicking too fast. Hey, I called, slow down. She stopped. I'm just thinking. About what? About everything, she said. This is a lot. I know, I replied. But we'll handle it. Together. She nodded, but she didn't look convinced. On the drive home, I tried to lighten the mood. Guess this is the universe telling me to eat more vegetables. Emily stared out the window. This isn't funny. I'm not joking, I said softly. Well, I am, but only because I'm scared. She finally looked at me. I'm scared too. That was the first crack. At home, my sister Lily was waiting. You're back early, she said. Everything okay? I shrugged. Depends how you define okay. Emily sat on the couch without speaking. Lily's smile faded. What happened? I took a breath. I'm sick. Like actually sick. How sick? Lily asked. Long term, I said. Expensive. Annoying. Life-changing. She walked over and hugged me without asking questions. We'll deal with it, she said into my shoulder. You're not alone. Emily stood up. I'm going to make tea. Lily watched her leave. She okay? She's just processing, I said quickly. Too quickly. That night, Lily sat across from me at the table. You scared? Not of dying, I admitted. I'm scared of being useless. You're not, she said firmly. You're my brother. You've always taken care of me. Now it's my turn. I smiled weakly. I don't want to be a burden. Too bad, she said. You're stuck with me. Emily returned with the tea, but didn't sit. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at the screen. I need to take this. Who is it? I asked. Just someone from work, she said, already walking away. Lily raised an eyebrow. She always this jumpy? She's stressed, I said. We all are. Over the next few days, the word treatment became part of every conversation. You need to rest, Emily said one morning. I rested yesterday, I replied. That doesn't mean anything, she snapped. You don't listen. I'm trying, I said. I just don't want my whole life to stop. She sighed. You don't get it. Then explain it to me. She hesitated. I can't. Not right now. Her phone buzzed again. She stepped outside. Lily leaned close. You notice she's been doing that a lot. Doing what? Leaving the room, she said. Every time her phone rings. It's nothing, I insisted, though my chest felt tight again. At the hospital, Emily held my hand while the nurse explained the plan. Weekly visits, the nurse said. Blood work, medication adjustments. Emily nodded, but didn't ask questions. I tried to joke. Do I get a punch card? 10 visits and 1 free. The nurse laughed politely. Emily didn't. On the way out, she said, This is going to be harder than you think. I know, I replied, but I still have you. She stopped walking. Of course you do. Her voice sounded strange. That night, I lay awake listening to her breathe beside me. Emily, I whispered. Yes. You won't leave, right? She was quiet for a moment. Why would you ask that? Because I'm scared, I said honestly. Because I don't want to wake up one day and realize I lost you too. She turned toward me. I love you. I love you too, I said. But even as she said it, I felt distance growing, invisible but real, like a crack spreading under glass. I told myself I was imagining it. I told myself love was stronger than fear. I told myself everything would be fine. Still, as her phone buzzed softly on the nightstand and she turned away to check it, I stared at the ceiling and wondered when my world had started slipping out of my hands. The first morning, I couldn't get out of bed on my own. Emily stood over me with a frown. You need to try harder, she said, shaking the blanket off my shoulders. I'm trying, I muttered, voice hoarse. My body isn't cooperating. She sighed, running her fingers through her hair. I know, but it's exhausting. For both of us. I flinched. Exhausting? You think this is easy for me? I'm not saying that, she snapped. But someone has to keep things running while you lie here. I'm not lying here for fun. I shouted, grabbing the edge of the bed. My hand shook. Ryan warned me this might happen, Emily said quietly. People change when life gets hard. What does that mean? I asked. That means, she hesitated, sometimes love isn't enough. People grow apart. My chest tightened. You're not growing apart from me, right? She gave me a faint, forced smile. I'm here. For now. Bills sat on the table, a small mountain of paper with numbers that made my stomach churn. I pushed them aside. I'll figure it out. I always do. You've barely been able to work, Emily said, sitting down across from me. How do you plan to figure it out? I don't know yet, I admitted. But we'll manage. You're saying that like it's easy. It's not easy, she said, her voice cracking slightly. I know it's not easy. I snapped, though my throat burned. Do you think I like being sick? Do you think I like being a burden? Emily stood, brushing past me. I'm just saying, we need a plan. We can't keep pretending everything is fine. I clenched my fists. I'm not pretending. She stopped in the hallway. You're just avoiding reality. I wanted to yell more, but my energy failed me. Instead, I went silent. Later, I heard her talking on the phone in the kitchen. Her voice was quiet first, but then I caught the name, Jason. I froze. Jason, I whispered to myself. She laughed softly. No, he's just helping with advice. Don't worry about it. I want to trust her. I really did. But a jealous fire ignited inside me. Advice? About what? I asked, stepping into the doorway. She frowned. Just life stuff. Bills, planning, you don't need to worry. Jason Reed, I said, feeling my hands clench at my sides. Yes, him, she said quickly. Stop Stop making it a big deal. It's a big deal to me. I shouted. You're talking to your rich ex behind my back. It's not like that, she said, voice rising. I'm trying to manage everything, and he offered to help. That's all. I stared at her, my chest tight, my mind racing. I thought you promised me. No matter what. I did promise, she yelled. But you don't understand the pressure I'm under. I don't. I asked, voice breaking. You think I'm not under pressure? I can barely pay bills, I can barely stand, and you're calling me weak? She turned away. I didn't say that. You're leaving me behind, I said quietly, almost to myself. Ryan called that evening. How are you holding up? I ran my hand through my hair. I don't know, man. I'm losing her, I think, and I can't do anything about it. People change, Alex. I told you, when life hits hard, they show who they really are. She's Emily, I said defensively. She wouldn't do that to me. Ryan was quiet for a moment. She might, and it doesn't make it right. Just watch for it. Be honest with yourself. I shook my head. I can't even think about it. Emily came home late that night, her face pale, eyes avoiding mine. I had to meet Jason, she said. It was just paperwork and advice. Paperwork? I echoed. What kind of advice? Budgeting, planning, nothing more. I wanted to believe her. I really did. Okay, I said slowly. I trust you. She looked at me, her lips pressing into a thin line. Thank you. I felt a knot in my stomach. You sound distant. I'm tired, she said. You have no idea how hard today was. I'm tired too, I said, thinking of my weak arms, shaking hands, and the hospital visits. But I can't just walk away. Emily turned to the fridge, her back to me. I'm not walking away, she muttered. Then why does it feel like you're leaving? I asked softly. She didn't answer. The next few days were heavy. I couldn't work. Bills piled up. Every call she made outside, every quiet sigh, every glance at her phone twisted something inside me. You look terrible, Lily said when she came over. You need to eat. I'm fine, I said, though my stomach had been empty all day. You're not fine, she said sharply. And you know it. I can handle it, I insisted. Handle what? She asked, voice softening. Your health? Your bills? Or her? I couldn't answer. Emily tried to talk that night. We need to be honest with each other, she said. I am being honest. I said, I feel like I'm losing you and there's nothing I can do. That's not fair, she said. I'm here. I love you. But all of this is exhausting. I know it's exhausting, I said. I know it's not easy, but I'm still me, still your fiancé, still the man you promised to stay with. She flinched. You make it sound so simple. I wish it were simple, I said. I wish nothing hurt and we didn't have to fight about money or health or every little thing. But life isn't simple, Emily. I know, she whispered. We went silent. I stared at the wall, counting cracks, pretending my heart wasn't breaking in slow increments. That night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Emily had gone to the kitchen twice to take calls. I didn't know who they were for. I didn't ask. I told myself it was nothing, that she still loved me. But I couldn't shake the growing sense that everything I counted on, her, us, my life, was slipping through my fingers. Love used to feel light like wings. Now it felt heavy, like a stone I had to carry every hour of every day. And I didn't know how much longer I could hold it up before it crushed me completely. I walked into the apartment earlier than usual, hoping to surprise Emily with dinner I had picked up from that little Italian place she loved. But the moment I turned the corner into the bedroom, my stomach dropped. She was kneeling on the floor, her suitcase open, clothes folded neatly beside it. Emily, I asked, my voice tight. She didn't look up. I need space. What? I froze, gripping the doorframe. Space? You promised. You promised you'd never leave me. She finally turned, avoiding my eyes. I know. I did. But I can't do this anymore. Not like this. I shook my head. Not like this. You mean with me sick? You mean with me lying here, trying to survive? You think I wanted this? I never said it was easy, she whispered. It's not easy, I shouted, stepping closer. I thought we were supposed to be together through everything. Through sickness, through bills, through all of it. She hugged herself. I know. I can't. What do you mean you can't? My hands trembled. I thought this was forever. She bit her lip, still refusing to meet my eyes. I'm moving in with Jason. Temporarily. Temporarily? The word echoed in my head, sharp and heavy. Temporarily? You're leaving me for your rich ex. I'm not leaving because of you, she said quickly. I need help. I can't handle this on my own. Help. I laughed bitterly, voice cracking. You said you'd never leave me. You promised. All those tears, all those nights, it meant nothing. It meant everything, she said, finally looking at me, her eyes glistening. But it's too much for me right now. I need a break, Alex. I stumbled back. A break? From me? From a man you said you'd never abandon. She shook her head, trying to hold back tears. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry. I really am. I could feel my chest tighten, the air caught somewhere between anger and disbelief. Sorry? That's all you have? Sorry? After everything? You just pack your things and walk out. I don't want to hurt you more than I already have, she said softly. But you are. I shouted. You're destroying me. Do you even hear yourself? Emily flinched. I have to do this. I can't stay and watch you suffer. I can't. Watch me suffer. I interrupted. You promised. You said you'd never leave me. Emily, do you remember those words? She nodded silently. I trusted you. I yelled. I believed in you. I loved you more than anything in this world. I know, she said quietly. I love you too. I just can't. The words hit me like a punch I couldn't block. My legs felt weak, but I forced myself to step closer. How long? I asked, voice shaking. Temporary, she repeated. Temporary, I shouted again. Do you know what that word does to someone? I don't know, she cried. I don't know. I just need a safe place to think, to breathe. Safe place. I laughed, bitter and raw. You're moving in with a man who used to love you? A man with everything I don't? A man who can give you everything you want while I lie here, like a failure. Emily flinched, her hands shaking. It's not like that, Alex. Please. I'm not trying to hurt you. Not trying? You are. You already have. I screamed, my voice breaking. I trusted you. I gave you everything. And now you're leaving me for him. I don't know what else to do, she yelled, throwing her hands up. I can't handle this. I can't. The doorbell rang. Lily. I could hear her rushing up the stairs. Alex, open up, she shouted through the door. I opened it quickly, almost desperate for anyone to stop this. Lily, I yelled. She's leaving me. She's. I turned back to the bedroom. Emily had already zipped the suitcase, halfway closed. Lily, I started, but Emily cut me off. I'm sorry, Lily, she said quickly. I have to go. Wait. I grabbed her arm. Emily, don't do this. Please. You can't. She gently pushed my hands away. I have to. Please understand. It's not forever, maybe. I felt my knees buckle, but I forced myself to stand. Maybe? Do you hear yourself? Maybe? I believed in you. I believed in us. And now maybe? She shook her head. I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to do. I could feel the tears burning my eyes, but I refused to cry in front of her. The ring. I yelled suddenly, realizing she hadn't taken it. She placed it on the dresser. It's yours. I don't want it anymore. I stared at it, the gold glinting in the morning light. That ring used to mean forever. Now it was just metal and lies. Alex, she started, voice trembling. I love you, but I can't stay. Please don't make this harder than it already is. I wanted to scream, to beg, to collapse. But my voice refused to come. I could only watch as she zipped the suitcase fully, slung it over her shoulder, and walked toward the door. Emily, I yelled, running after her. Please, don't do this. We can fix this. We always fix things. She stopped but didn't turn. Not this time. I reached for her hand, desperate. I can't live without you. Don't do this to me. I need you. I love you. She paused for a second, then shook her head slowly. I know, and I'm sorry. Then she opened the door and walked out. I slammed it shut behind her. The sound echoed in the apartment like a gunshot. I sank to the floor, gasping, choking, unable to breathe. The silence left by her absence was louder than anything I had ever experienced. Lily finally burst into the room, her face pale. Alex, are you okay? What happened? She left, I whispered, voice breaking. Emily, she left me, for him, temporarily. Lily dropped to her knees beside me. I'm so sorry, Alex. I tried. I shook my head violently. No one could stop her. She doesn't care. She doesn't even care about me. She promised, Lily. She promised she'd never leave me sick. She promised. Tears streamed down my face. My body shook. I didn't care about being strong anymore. I didn't care about keeping it together. Emily's words, her actions, the betrayal, the suitcase, the ring, it all collided into a storm that broke me completely. I held my head in my hands. She said forever. I whispered over and over, rocking slightly. Forever, forever, forever. Lily hugged me, whispering that she was there. But even with her arms around me, I felt hollow. Emily's departure had taken something I could never get back. I stared at the ring on the dresser. Forever was gone. Everything else, everything I had believed in, was gone. I didn't move for hours. I just sat there, letting the apartment echo with her absence, letting the betrayal sink in, letting the reality hit me. I was alone, and nothing could fix it. I woke up to the sound of my phone buzzing, but I ignored it. Another missed call from Emily, another text I didn't want to read. My apartment smelled stale, like fear and old coffee had settled into the walls. I hadn't showered in 2 days. Alex, Lily's voice came from the doorway. I'm not hungry, I muttered without looking up from the ceiling. You have to eat something, she said firmly, stepping closer. You can't survive on air. I can survive just fine, I replied, my voice flat. I don't need food. I don't need anything. You need treatment, she said, crossing her arms. Skipping your meds won't make it easier. I'm not going, I said. I don't care. What's the point? You care more than you admit, Lily said softly. You care about living. Don't give up yet. I didn't answer. I turned my head and stared at the floor. The next morning, I dragged myself to the hospital anyway, mostly out of habit. I sat in the waiting room, staring at the linoleum floor, until Mark Thompson sat beside me. First time? He asked quietly. No, I said, voice hollow. I've been here a lot. I know the feeling, he said. I was in treatment for 3 years. Worse than this. I glanced at him, skeptical. Worse than this. He nodded. Much worse. Almost didn't make it. Then why are you here? I asked. Survived, he said simply. I talk to people sometimes. Helps me remember why I'm alive. You don't judge? I asked, surprised. No, he said. I listen. That's all. I felt a flicker of something I hadn't felt in weeks. Comfort. Not pity. Not judgment. Just listening. Later, Lily appeared again, this time with a small plate of food. Eat, she said. Even a little. I'm not hungry, I said, turning away. You are, she insisted. I saw you staring at the ceiling for hours yesterday. You need energy. You need strength. I don't want strength, I muttered. I don't know, escape. You can't escape, she said firmly. You're alive, Alex. That's all that matters right now. You need to fight. I stared at her, anger bubbling. Fight for what? For her? For my health? For bills I can't pay? Fight for you, she yelled, startling me. Not for anyone else. I didn't answer. I just pushed the plate away. That night, I scrolled through my phone. Emily, her smiling face, champagne glass in hand, photos of Jason's luxury apartment. She looked happy, free, untouchable. My chest burned. I can't believe this, I whispered, voice breaking. I'm sick, and she's laughing like I never existed. Mark's words echoed in my head. Remember why you're alive. You survived worse. I laughed bitterly. I survived worse. What am I surviving now? Humiliation? Heartbreak? You're surviving, I said to myself, quieter this time. You're still breathing. The anger grew, replacing some of the despair. Why was I still alive if this was all life had to offer? Days passed in a haze. I skipped treatment once, twice. Called in sick to work, letting bills pile higher. Emily didn't call anymore. She didn't need to. She was gone. Lily didn't leave me alone. Stop moping, she said one evening, dragging me out of bed. You need to eat. You need to go to your appointments. I can't, I said, voice raw. I can't pretend like everything's normal when it's not. You're not pretending, she said sharply. You're surviving. That's the only thing that matters. You fight now, or you let her win. Win what? I asked, though I knew the answer. Pride. Control. My dignity. You fight for your life, she said. and your life isn't over. I felt tears sting my eyes, but I refused them. I wouldn't cry anymore. Not for her. Not for this. I was done being a victim. I ran into Mark again at the hospital cafeteria. He sat across from me, eyes calm, voice steady. You look rough. Thanks for stating the obvious, I muttered, but there was no bite in my tone. You stopped crying, he observed. I had to, I said. Crying doesn't fix anything. Doesn't bring her back. Doesn't fix me. Good, he said. Anger is better than nothing. Use it. I nodded, feeling something ignite. Use it for what? For you, he said simply. For surviving. For fighting back. Later, at home, I sat at the computer, staring at bills and treatment schedules. I hated them. I hated Emily. I hated that she could smile online while my body was failing. But for the first time in weeks, I felt something sharp and clear. Resolve. I'm not going to waste away, I muttered. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. I'll show her, show myself. Lily peeked into the room. That's the spirit, she said softly, smiling. I gritted my teeth. I'll survive this. Even if she's gone. Even if I have nothing else. You have yourself, she said. That's enough for now. I stared at the ceiling, feeling the anger pulse through my veins, burning away some of the despair. I wasn't happy. I wasn't healed. But I was alive. And that mattered. Emily's face flashed across my mind again, but this time I didn't cry. I clenched my fists. I'll live, I whispered. I'll live, and I'll make it count. Not for her, for me. Mark's quiet words came back to me. Remember why you're alive. I finally understood. I wasn't just surviving my illness. I was surviving her betrayal, my humiliation, and the despair that had nearly killed me. I wasn't going to lie in bed anymore. I wasn't going to skip treatment or hide from the world. I would live, painfully, slowly, deliberately. And when I did, the fire that had been smoldering inside me since Emily left would fuel me. For the first time in weeks, I felt something like hope. Small, fragile, but mine. I stood in the hospital hallway staring at the exit sign when Mark's voice stopped me. Running again? He asked calmly. I'm tired, I said. Everything hurts. It will, he replied. That doesn't mean you quit. I turned to face him. Why do you care? He shrugged. Because someone once asked me the same question. I exhaled slowly. I don't want to die like this. Angry. Empty. Then don't, he said. Decide. Right now. I clenched my jaw. I decide to live. That's a start, he said. Now prove it. The nurse called my name. I didn't walk out. I turned around. During my next session, a woman stepped forward with a clipboard. I'm Sophie Nguyen, she said. Your physical therapist. I'm not strong. I warned her. She smiled gently. You don't need to be. You just need to show up. She guided me through exercises that made my muscles scream. Breathe, she said. Pain means you're here. I hate this, I muttered. Good, she replied. That means you care. Afterward, I collapsed into a chair. You enjoy torturing people. She laughed. Only the ones who want their lives back. Mark nodded from across the room. She's good. I don't feel good, I said. You will, Sophia said. Not today, but someday. At home, Lily watched me eat slowly. You finished the plate. I did, I said. Don't clap. She smiled anyway. I will. I'm proud of you. Ryan called later. You ready to work again? I don't know if I can handle much, I said. I'll help, he said. Remote stuff. Small tasks. Okay, I replied. I need something to hold on to. That's the spirit, he said. I opened my laptop that night. My hand shook, but I finished one task. Then another. I checked my phone out habit, then stopped. No, I said aloud. Not tonight. I deleted Emily's profile from my feed. The next day hurt more. Sophia noticed. You're stiff. I pushed too hard, I admitted. Good, she said. Now rest, then push again. Mark watched me struggle. You're changing. I'm trying, I said. That's enough, he replied. Ryan messaged me. Client loved your work. I stared at the screen. Seriously? Seriously, he said. You still got it. For the first time, I smiled without forcing it. At dinner, Lily raised her glass. To small wins. I raised mine. To not giving up. Pain followed me everywhere, but it no longer owned me. Each session, each task, each meal felt like proof. Sophia said it best one morning. You're rebuilding trust with yourself. I nodded. I broke it before. You're fixing it now, she said. I lay in bed that night exhausted, but clear-headed. "I'm still here," I whispered. And this time, I believed it. I sat at my desk, fingers hovering over the keyboard, feeling a steadiness I hadn't known in months. One step at a time, I muttered aloud. "Exactly," Mark said from the chair across from me. "Small victories count." "I'm not used to winning small," I said, cracking a smile. "You never believed you could," he said simply. "Now you do." I nodded, letting the words sink in. Sophia had pushed me harder than ever, and I could feel the change. My body hurt less. My energy returned bit by bit. Ryan called that evening. "Alex, have you heard the news?" "News?" I asked cautiously. "Jason Reed's company," he said. "It's under investigation. Tax issues, fraud, you name it. It's all over the business channels." I froze, holding my mug midair. "What? Seriously?" Ryan laughed softly. "Yeah. You okay?" I forced a shrug. "I don't know. I guess. I feel something." "Something?" Ryan asked. "Relief," I admitted, "but also nothing. I'm not happy. Not really." "That's normal," he said. "You don't need to feel anything extreme. That's the point." I leaned back in my chair, thinking about Emily. She had quit her job recently. Ryan mentioned, relying on Jason fully. I imagined her smiling, living in comfort, thinking she had escaped my misery. And I realized I didn't care anymore. Not fully, anyway. "Mark," I said later that night when I met him for coffee, "I keep hearing about Emily and Jason. Part of me wants revenge, I guess. To see them suffer." Mark stirred his drink slowly. "And another part?" "Peace," I said immediately. "I just want to stop thinking about them. To live without bitterness." "That's real victory," he said. "Indifference. Let the universe handle what's fair. You don't need to get your hands dirty." I nodded. His words felt heavy, but freeing. "I don't need to contact her, do I?" "No," he said. "Not if you want to move on. Karma works quietly. You'll see." The next morning, Sophia pushed me harder in therapy. "Last set," she said. "You can do it." "I can barely move," I muttered. "You can," she said. "And you will. Every time you push, you're stronger than yesterday." I gritted my teeth and lifted the weight. My muscles screamed. My lungs burned, but I kept going. I realized strength wasn't about beating someone else. It was about beating my own weaknesses. Later, Lily came by with lunch. "You're glowing," she said, smiling. "I feel better," I admitted. "Physically. Mentally. Slowly." "You earned it," she said. "You're not the same person who cried over Emily last month." I laughed softly, a bit bitter. "I hope not." Ryan and I worked remotely together now. I handle clients, emails, deadlines. My income stabilized, and the anxiety that had suffocated me began to lift. "You're really back," Ryan said one afternoon, scrolling through a spreadsheet. "Feels like it," I said. "I can focus on me again, not just surviving." "And you're doing well," he said. "Clients are happy. You're proving yourself." I needed that, I admitted. Needed to see that I can still function. Still live. Ryan nodded. "Exactly. That's all that matters." I stopped checking Emily's social media completely. No updates, no pictures, no evidence of her new life. The urge to peek still came, but I pushed it away. Why do I even care? I muttered one night to myself. She's gone. She left. And I'm alive. That thought steadied me. Slowly, the bitterness that had haunted me every morning started to fade. I focused on work, therapy, and my small routines. Each victory, each success reinforced my sense of self. Mark was right. Real victory wasn't about revenge. Seeing Jason's problems unfold online gave a small thrill, sure, but I didn't chase it. I didn't gloat. I let it happen quietly, letting the universe do the work. At the hospital, I noticed a few new patients struggling like I had. I spoke quietly with them, listening without judgment, just like Mark had listened to me. "You survived something worse," I said to one man. "You can survive this too." He looked at me, eyes wide. What do you keep going?" I smiled faintly. "Step by step. Focus on yourself. Let the rest fall where it will." He nodded slowly, and I felt a flicker of pride. Helping someone else felt lighter than scrolling through Emily's posts or obsessing over Jason's downfall. Weeks passed. My treatments continued, my body stronger. Sophia smiled each time I improved, each milestone marked with encouragement. "You've come a long way," she said one morning. "I have," I admitted. "But it's not just physical. It's mental too. I'm finally letting go." "Good," she said. "That's the hardest part." I thought about Emily for a moment, then pushed the memory away. It didn't sting as much. She had her life. I had mine. And mine was getting stronger every day. One evening, I sat on the balcony with Lily. "Do you think I'll ever feel the same?" I asked. "Feel what?" she said. "Bitterness. Rage. Pain over her. Maybe sometimes," she said. "But it won't control you. You'll live around it. Not because of it." I nodded. "I hope so." "You will," she said. "You're alive. You're choosing yourself." I sipped my coffee, feeling warmth spread through me. The anger had transformed into quiet clarity. I wasn't chasing Emily. I wasn't obsessed with Jason. I wasn't letting bitterness rule me. Karma was moving quietly, and I didn't need to touch it. Mark called me later that night. "Feeling better?" "I am," I admitted. "Stronger. Still hurt, but stronger." "That's all you can ask for," he said. "Let the universe handle the rest." "I will," I said. For the first time since Emily left, I slept without imagining her face. The apartment felt lighter, the future clearer. I had chosen survival over self-pity. I had chosen me, and it felt like victory. My phone buzzed on the counter. I glanced at it lazily, expecting another work email from Ryan. Instead, the screen flashed her name, Emily. I froze. "No," I whispered. My fingers hovered over the screen. "She's calling me?" Lily asked from the doorway. "I don't know if I should answer," I said. "Do it," she said firmly. "Just hear her out." I took a deep breath and swiped to answer. "Hello." "Alex," her voice trembled. "It's me. I need to see you." I studied the line for a moment. "Why now?" "I made a mistake," she said quickly. "Everything, it's gone. Jason, he's lost everything." I swallowed hard, keeping my voice even. "I see. I know I hurt you," she said. I didn't know what I was doing. I was scared." "Scared," I repeated, keeping calm. "You left me because life got hard. And you're scared?" "Yes," she said softly. "And I see now how selfish that was." I held up a hand. "Stop. Just stop for a second." Her voice cracked. "I stayed when you were weak, but I left when it got hard. I can't believe I did that." I blinked, surprised at the clarity in her words. That's exactly how backward it sounded. She stayed with a man who couldn't fight for himself, then abandoned him when he needed her most. "You're right," I said calmly. "You did." She sniffled. "I know. I'm so sorry. I don't expect you to forgive me." "I don't," I said honestly. "I don't either," she whispered. I wanted you to know." "Why now?" I asked. "Why not before?" "Because everything fell apart," she said, voice trembling. "I have nothing. I'm tired, Alex. Thinner than I should be. Scared." I didn't respond immediately. I felt a strange calm. The fear and anger that had consumed me for months didn't surge like before. I realized something had shifted. "You sound different," I said. "Not just tired, but small. You sound less certain." "I am," she admitted. "I was wrong. About everything." I ran a hand through my hair. "I've changed too." "You have?" she asked quietly. "Yes," I said. "I'm not the same man you left. I'm stronger. I'm alive because I chose to fight. I didn't wait for anyone to save me. I didn't rely on anyone to fix my life." Her voice wavered. I didn't think about that when I left." "You weren't thinking about anyone but yourself?" I said gently, more a statement than an accusation. "I know," she whispered. I can't ask you to forgive me. I can't even ask for your time. I wanted you to see me, to hear me say I was wrong." I nodded slowly, even though she couldn't see me. "You've done that." Her voice cracked with tears. "I stayed when you were weak. I left when it got hard." She swallowed, "that's shameful." "Yes," I said quietly. "It is. I don't know how to fix anything," she said, almost pleading. "You don't get to fix anything," I said calmly. "Not with me." She sniffled, a single tear sliding down her cheek. "I understand. I wanted to tell you." "I hear you," I said. "But understand this. The man you left, he doesn't exist anymore." She started. "No," I interrupted gently. "Don't try. I'm not the same. I survived. I rebuilt. And I'm still alive, Emily. That's what matters. I'm so sorry, she said again, voice breaking completely. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I know, I said softly. I've accepted it. Not for you. Not for Jason. For me. She was quiet, almost too quiet. I don't even know what to say. You don't need to say anything, I said. Just leave it here. Let's stay as it is. Are you angry? She asked. Not really, I said. It's not about anger anymore. It's indifference. I've let it go. Her voice cracked. Indifference. Yes, I said. You hurt me. You left me. I survived anyway. I'm not looking back, and I'm not waiting for you. That's victory. For me, not you. I can't imagine being like that, she whispered. I ruined everything. You did, I said simply. And you'll live with that. I don't need to anymore. I wish things were different, she said, almost silently. They're different, I said. But not for you. For me. There was a long silence on the line. Her breathing shaky, mind steady. Can I see you? She asked finally. No, I said calmly. There's nothing to see. Nothing left to salvage. We're done. I understand, she said. I'm so sorry. Yes, I said. You are. She hung up, and I didn't move for a moment. My chest felt lighter, almost free. The tension that had lived there for months was gone. Lily peeked into the room. Everything okay? I nodded slowly. Better than okay. She raised an eyebrow. You're calm. Not screaming, not crying. I've moved past that, I said. I survived her leaving. I survived everything she did. And I'm still alive. That's amazing, she said softly. I know, I said. It's my life now. Not hers. Not Jason's. Mine. I picked up my mug, taking a sip of coffee, feeling warmth spread through me. Emily's cries, her apologies, her fear, they couldn't touch me anymore. They weren't my burden to carry. Mark had been right. True power wasn't revenge. It wasn't anger. It wasn't letting someone else control your emotions. It was indifference. I had it now. The phone sat on the counter, silent. I didn't check it. I didn't need to. Karma had moved quietly, and I had survived without lifting a finger. I sat back, exhaled slowly, and smiled faintly. For the first time since she left, I felt in control. I was alive. I was free, and I was no one's to hurt anymore. The phone buzzed again. I knew whose name would appear before I even looked. Emily. I hesitated. Do I answer this? I muttered. Lily, folding laundry nearby, glanced up. You can if you want. Just be ready for whatever comes. I swallowed hard. Whatever comes is probably her asking for another chance. You decide, she said softly. But remember who you are now. I nodded, trying to steady my voice as I swiped to answer. Hello. Alex. Her voice was soft, almost pleading. I need to see you. Please. Can we talk? I exhaled slowly. Talk. Yes, she said. I know I hurt you. I left when I shouldn't have. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I felt a flicker of the old ache in my chest, but I focused on the present. Go on, I said calmly. I want another chance, she admitted. I want to try again. With us. I froze for a second, my fingers gripping the edge of the counter. Part of me remembered the nights we spent laughing, the warmth in her hands when she held mine, the promises she once made. And if I say no, she asked softly, almost afraid. I didn't answer immediately. Lily walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder. Alex, remember what you've built. Remember who you've become. I closed my eyes briefly. I do, I said. And I can't go back. Please, Alex, Emily pleaded. I've learned. I see now. I see what I lost. Can't we try? I opened my eyes. Emily, I forgive you. Her voice brightened slightly. You do? Yes, I said. I forgive you. But forgiving you doesn't mean I'm taking you back. I've changed. I've grown. And I can't undo that growth for anyone. Not even you. There was silence on the line. Then she whispered, So it's over? Yes, I said firmly. It's over. This time it's final. I understand, she said, voice trembling. I don't want to hurt you again. You won't, I said. And that's enough for me. Alex, thank you, she said softly, almost a whisper. You're welcome, I said. Take care of yourself. That's all I ask. She stayed quiet for a moment, then sighed. I will. Goodbye, Alex. Goodbye, Emily, I said. I hung up and set the phone down. I felt a strange mixture of sadness and relief. Sadness for the love that once existed, relief that it no longer controlled me. Lily hugged me gently. You okay? I am, I said. I feel sad, but not broken. That's important, she said. You've learned something. You've chosen yourself. I nodded. I forgive her, but I don't need her. I can survive without her. And I will. Later, Sophia visited for a session. How's it going? She asked, noticing the calm in my demeanor. I just had closure, I said. It's hard, but I'm okay. Good, she said with a smile. You've made so much progress. Remember how far you've come? I do, I said. I'm stronger now. Mentally, physically, everything. I'm proud of myself. Then don't let anyone, take that away, she said. Even someone you once loved. I won't, I said. Ryan called that night. Everything good? Better than good, I said. I've chosen myself. I've forgiven, but I'm moving forward. That's the right choice, he said. You're a different man now. I know, I said. And it feels peaceful. Peaceful was a strange word after all the chaos. But it fit. The ache of betrayal was still there, a faint memory, but it no longer dictated my actions or my thoughts. The apartment felt lighter, airier, as if the weight of Emily's mistakes had been lifted. I no longer checked social media, no longer imagined what she was doing, no longer cared. My life was mine to build. I picked up my laptop and started on a new project. Each keystroke felt deliberate, empowered. Each email, each client call, a proof of my independence. Lily brought me dinner later. Feeling good? I am, I said, smiling. It's a strange kind of contentment. Sadness mixed with relief. But I can live with that. You should, she said. You deserve it. I nodded. I do. I've earned it. That night, I lay in bed and thought about Emily one last time. Not with anger, not with longing, not with hurt. Just acceptance. I realized that closure wasn't about revenge. It wasn't about making her suffer or proving anything to the world. It was about reclaiming myself, my life, my choices. I closed my eyes and whispered, I choose me. Always me. And for the first time in months, I slept without pain in my chest. I slept knowing the power had shifted completely. I was whole again, even with the scars. The past was behind me. The future awaited, and I was ready. I had forgiven, but I had not returned. I had grown, matured, and respected myself enough to know I deserved better. And that was victory. I walked down the street near my old apartment, feeling the sunlight on my face. The place where Emily had left, where I had broken, where my world had seemed to crumble. It was just a building now. Nothing more. Alex, Lily said beside me, her voice gentle. You're quiet today. I'm thinking, I said, about everything, about how far I've come. You've come a long way, she said, smiling. I see it in you. I nodded. I'm healthier, stronger, calmer. I feel grounded in a way I never thought I would. You deserve that, she said. I looked at her, the honesty in her eyes reflecting my own. I still have scars, I admitted. Emotional, physical, all of it. But they don't define me anymore. I survived, and that's enough. We walked past the cafe where Emily and I used to spend weekends. The memories lingered, faint and distant. I could feel the echoes of laughter and arguments, but they didn't hurt. They were just part of the past. You okay seeing this? Lily asked. I am, I said. It doesn't scare me anymore. It doesn't control me. I've learned that betrayal didn't destroy me. It rebuilt me. Lily squeezed my arm. I'm proud of you, Alex. You fought so hard. I smiled faintly. I didn't win by hurting anyone. I didn't plot revenge. I didn't chase her, or Jason, or anyone who wronged me. I won by surviving, by living my life. You made the right choice, she said. We stopped near the park where Emily and I used to sit. I watched children play, their laughter untainted by the troubles of the world. It reminded me how small some of my past fears had been. I can walk past these places now, I said quietly. I can see them without fear or anger, without longing or bitterness. That used to be impossible. You've changed, Lily said softly. In the best way. I nodded, feeling the truth of her words. I used to be consumed by rage, by despair, by the idea that my life could only be ruined if she or anyone controlled it. But now, I see that I am in control. I've taken my life back. You've earned this, she said. I paused, looking out at the street. It's strange. I'm not seeking happiness in revenge. I don't need her apology to feel complete. I don't need validation from anyone who left me behind. I'm enough. I survived, and that's enough. Lily smiled, and I felt a quiet warmth. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It didn't need to be. Peace was subtle, gentle, persistent. Later, I returned to my apartment. The walls, once filled with pain and memories of Emily, felt lighter. My things were arranged neatly. My workspace was organized. I could breathe without thinking of past betrayals. I sat on the couch, looking at the window. Alex, I whispered to myself, you chose life when it mattered most. You fought when you could have given up. You built strength from sorrow. You healed even when it hurt. The phone sat quietly on the table. No calls from Emily. No messages from Jason. And I didn't care. I didn't need to. Karma had moved quietly, and my life had moved even more quietly, steadily, towards something I could call my own. Ryan called later, checking in. How's everything? Good, I said, smiling. Better than good. Peaceful. Quiet. Strong. That's amazing, Alex, he said. You really turned things around. I did, I said. I survived, and that's victory enough. I looked out the window again. The city moved on around me, people rushing, laughing, living. And so was I, fully, deliberately. I remembered Mark's words. True victory is indifference, not revenge. They rang truer than ever. I didn't need to gloat. I didn't need closure from anyone but myself. My life, my health, my progress. That was my victory. I poured myself a cup of coffee, taking a slow sip. The warmth spread through me. I felt alive, whole, and calm. My body was stronger, my mind clearer. I had learned patience, resilience, and the quiet strength of self-respect. Sophia's voice echoed in my memory from our last session. You've rebuilt trust with yourself. I whispered softly, I have. The night was quiet. The apartment felt safe. I leaned back on the couch, closing my eyes for a moment. I thought of Emily one last time, not with pain, not with longing, just acknowledgement. She was part of my past. I had survived her betrayal, her absence, her choices. And I had survived me, my fear, my despair, my anger. I opened my eyes and smiled faintly. The scars were still there, yes, but they reminded me of strength, not weakness, of endurance, not failure. I stood, stretching slowly, feeling energy flow through me. I moved to the window again, watching the city lights twinkle. Quiet, alive, free. I whispered I survived. And that's enough. For the first time in what felt like forever, I felt complete. Not because I had won against anyone else, not because anyone had acknowledged my pain. I was whole because I had chosen life, chosen survival, chosen myself. And that was victory. I closed my eyes again, finally allowing sleep to come without fear, without anxiety, without bitterness. I was alive. I had endured, and nothing could take that from me. Peace finally had settled in. Quiet. Steady. Enough. I had survived, and that was enough.